Hi guys, welcome to the recap show. Today's movie recap will cover a 2016 horror thriller movie named Killing Ground. Sit back, grab a drink, and enjoy. The movie opens by showing a couple, Samantha and Ian, in their car. The two are on their way to a beach site to camp in preparation for the new year. Sam brings out a medical puzzle and starts asking Ian to answer some of the questions. Thankfully, Ian is a doctor, and he's able to answer the questions conveniently. The duo realizes that they forgot to pack the champagne, and decides to buy another one at a store. Ian parks the car, and Samantha goes to the store to get the champagne. Ian sees a truck parked beside them with the dog cage at the back. The owner of the truck and dog, Scotty, aka German, arrives. Ian asks him for directions to the waterfalls, and German suggests Ian and Samantha should camp at Stony Creek. Ian agrees to check out the creek, and German drives off. Samantha arrives, and the couple continues their journey. As they drive, Ian notices German's truck coming behind them. Ian focuses his attention on the truck and almost misses the turn to the park. Upon getting to the park's entrance, Samantha and Ian see a Jeep parked there. They assume that there must be someone else camping at the park. They get to the beach and see a tent beside them and decide to set up camp close to them. Elsewhere, German wakes his associate, Fowler, aka Chuck, so they can go into town to get something to eat. It is revealed that German's dog is named Banjo. The duo arrives in town and is seen busy staking out a young woman. While setting up camp, Samantha suggests she and Ian should marry, and Ian agrees. 3 days earlier, the Baker family, Robert, Margaret, their daughter Emily, and infant son Ollie, are seen camping on the beach. It is revealed that the tent and car belong to them. At night, Robert tells the family a horror story, but Emily doesn't seem to like it. To make the atmosphere better, Robert takes out his guitar and plays a tune. Emily later has a nightmare due to her father's story. Now in the present day, Chuck and German are seen having fun with two girls in a bar. Chuck takes a picture of German, but that doesn't go well with him. German follows Chuck to the restroom and tells him to delete the picture. While in there, a police constable, Chris, enters. He tells the duo to try to curb Banjo because he constantly receives complaints from people about the dog. After cleaning up, Chris leaves the restroom and German breaks Chuck's phone. He warns him not to take any more pictures because he's not ready to go back to jail. German then tells Chuck about Samantha and Ian. Moments later, the bar erupts with joyful noise as everyone welcomes a new year. At the beach, Samantha and Ian also wish each other a great year ahead. At daybreak, Ian sees a wild pig eating their groceries and chases it off. He takes the remaining foodstuffs to the car and realizes that the car's tire is flat. Samantha wakes up worried and goes to check the baker's tent. She suddenly calls out to Ian. Ian gets there and realizes the tent is messed up. The duo decides that they need to get a ranger. Ian gets down to change the flat tire while Samantha brings over their stuff. In the flashback scene, Margaret, Ollie, and Robert take a trip into the woods, but Emily decides to stay behind. Robert and Margaret discuss how to get a therapist for Emily in order to help her with the nightmare she's having. Back at the camp, Emily gets bored and decides to go to their Jeep and take a nap inside. Before sleeping, she locks the door. Now in the present day, Ian is having trouble removing the flat tire. Samantha goes back to the camp to get him water, and Ian suddenly hears Samantha shouting for help. He rushes over, and they see a weak Ollie lying on the floor. Ian and Samantha then proceed to bathe Ollie and give him water so he can have some strength. In order to get help, Ian suggests he walk back to the main road. He assumes that the walk will take him at least half a day, but they don't have any other choice. They try using the baker's Jeep, but they can't find the key. Ian tells Samantha everything she needs to know so she can take care of Ollie before he gets back. Just as he is about to leave, a car arrives and Chuck comes out of it. Meanwhile, German arrives home and sees the note Chuck left for him that he has gone hunting. German immediately takes Banjo and follows Chuck. Ian and Samantha tell Chuck that they need to get to a hospital so they can attend to Ollie. However, Chuck suggests that they look for Ollie's parents instead. Chuck says the only way the parents could have gone is through the waterfalls. Chuck says he knows the area well and asks Ian to come with him. Ian agrees and tells Samantha to stay with Ollie. The flashback scene shows Chuck and German arriving at the campsite. They see Emily sleeping in the Jeep, and Chuck tries to open it, but finds out that it's locked. Emily wakes up and sees the men staring at her. Chuck tells her to open the door, but she refuses and starts pressing the car's horn. Margaret and Robert hear the horn and start running back. German brings out his rifle and orders Emily to come outside. She immediately complies and opens the door. Just then, Robert arrives and tackles the men to give Emily a chance to escape. However, German threatens to terminate Robert, and this forces Emily to turn back. Margaret goes to the tent and puts Ollie there. She then tries to attack German and Chuck, but she was overpowered as well. German and Chuck tie the trio and starts walking them up the hill. Moments later, Chuck and German are done having fun with Margaret and Emily. Chuck checks Emily's phone and realizes that they have a son. German asks Emily where Ollie is, but she refuses to give in. They sit Robert against a tree and use him for target practice. Chuck misses his first shot, but hits Robert in his head on the second trial. German takes his turn with Margaret and shoots her in the chest. He then proceeds to shoot Emily in the head. After they're done, they check the tent to see if Ollie is there, but while they were gone, Ollie wandered off into the woods. In the present day, Chuck and Ian arrive at the horrific sight, and Ian is stunned. Just then, Chuck realizes that Margaret didn't die from her gunshot wound and has crawled away. He tells Ian that they need to follow her trail and find her. Soon afterward, German arrives at the park's entrance and finds Samantha sitting in the car. Samantha tells him the situation of things, and also informs him that Ian has gone with Chuck to find Ollie's parents. Chuck and Ian find Margaret, who is now very weak. Ian gets down to help her, but Chuck shoots her immediately. It then dawns on Ian that Chuck is responsible for what happened. Back at the car, German hears the gunshot and goes to his truck to arm himself. He tries to attack Samantha, but she wards him off by slashing his wrist with a pocket knife. This gives Samantha the opportunity to run into the woods with Ollie, but German releases Banjo so it can help him in chasing her down. Chuck points the gun at Ian, but he manages to throw him off his feet and he escapes. The scene then shows a simultaneous view of Chuck chasing Ian, while German goes after Samantha. Banjo gets distracted by a wild pig and loses track of Samantha. Ian creates distance between him and Chuck. He then hides below a steep. Chuck is busy looking for him when he sees a figure run past him. Chuck immediately takes aim and shoots the person. He believes to have gotten Ian, but to his utmost surprise, he realizes that he just shot German. Just then, Ollie starts crying, and this gives up Samantha's location. Chuck finds her and orders her to stop. To stop Ollie from crying, Chuck takes him from Samantha and throws him to the ground, seemingly killing him. German then begs Chuck to finish him off, and he complies. Chuck holds Samantha hostage and tells Ian to meet him at the killing ground, or else he is going to terminate her. Ian tries to go after Samantha, but sees German's truck keys and decides to go for help instead. At the killing ground, Chuck threatens to make out forcefully with Samantha, but hears Ian driving off in German's truck. Chuck tells Samantha to follow him and starts running after Ian in hopes to intercept him before he gets to town. As they run past German's corpse, Samantha discovers that Ollie is not there again and assumes Ian has taken him. As Chuck chases after Ian, Samantha takes the steering wheel from Chuck and causes them to crash into a tree, which in turn knocks the duo unconscious. At nightfall, Ian gets to town and seeks the help of the police. Ian is escorted to the park by Chris and one other police officer. Samantha wakes up and realizes that she has been tied to the steering wheel. The cops arrive at the scene and try to help Samantha, but Chuck kills them from a distance. He also shoots Ian in the arm. He then holds Ian hostage and demands Samantha drive him to a safe location. Samantha then asks Ian if Ollie is okay, but he tells him that Ollie was never with him. This makes Samantha upset because she believes Ian ran off in order to save Ollie. Meanwhile, Banjo is seen sitting and guarding Ollie. As the trio drives away from the park, Samantha intentionally turns the wheel violently and crashes the car. Chuck gets out of the car and struggles with Samantha, but she manages to overpower him and hits him in the head with a rock. The next day, Samantha wakes up in a hospital and leaves her room to find Ian. She finds Ian receiving treatments because of his injuries. The movie comes to an end as the duo looks into each other's eyes. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to receive future recaps.